I'm Will.
And I'm Mike.
And this is Vandal Bros Tough Talk.
Remember, this podcast is sponsored by Vandal Athletic Gear. Alright, so we're going to talk about BKFC 38, the Win Strauss car.
Phone's been pushed back to April 21st.
Good news about this is originally our homeboy Steve Townsend had to cancel, but since the event got canceled, it seemed like he got worked back into the schedule.
Yeah, and I don't think he had to cancel. He actually made weight and he was ready to fight, I believe.
His opponent.
Yeah, Sorrow had to, I think he had some issues. But yeah, they had a couple fighters on there with some issues. Two local guys, Dat Win and Steve Tomahawk Townsend, will be fighting on that card April 21st. He's fighting Stratus, who is a huge, big name in the MMA world, in Bellator's MMA.
Yeah, and so looking at him, I mean, Strauss is 0-0, but you said he's an MMA guy?
Yeah, I want to say.
From Bellator? What
he fought in Bellator, and I know he beat one of the Pitbull brothers at one point. And Strauss is he's a dangerous fighter. I mean, but again, that's MMA, and he's a high energy guy. So we'll see what it brings to BKFC, because that is a true bare knuckle boxer. He's a true traditional boxer. I mean, many guys didn't
Vietnam.
Yeah, for many guys didn't think he lost against the champion now, Palomino.
Oh, so that loss was a decision.
Yes, and that loss was a decision. And many people thought he won that fight. He thought he lost to the guy with the bigger name at the time. Now that depends on who's watching the fight. I thought Palomino did win, but it was a close enough fight to where I can see why people thought. Anytime you have a close fight, there's gonna be some decisions where people are gonna think the guy that lost won, when you have those type of fights. So
yeah, and Strauss is way bigger.
Strauss is bigger,
a whole
but
13 pounds when they already cut. You know what I'm saying? Weight.
But that is not. He don't rely on his size. He's tough and he's a slick boxer, man. He can move. His footwork and his head movement is top level. So he's never. I don't think he's never have been the biggest guy in the ring when he's usually in there with another opponent. Because but his boxing is slick.
Yes, and once again, the Win versus Strauss is the headline event. Going on to the co-headline event, I don't know any of these guys. I kind of heard of Strauss before. Bostwick sounds familiar, but I don't think.
Yeah, Brutal Bostwick. He's fighting down south too. He's been in BKFC. I think he's 2-2, and he's a tough guy. He gets in, he comes in banging, and
So when they do co-headline events and stuff like this, or co-main events, if you will, when they do stuff like this, is usually co-main events. They fighting for contention.
No, this right here is probably the reason why Bostwick and Doodle is probably a co-main, is because it's so close to home. It's Del Rey, and most of these guys now fight. I mean, Dak Win is right out of Vero Beach, so
okay. So they try to use the location of the fighters.
I believe so, because that's what it looked like on this card right here. Because it's not even. I don't believe it's a championship fight up there.
Oh, so it's not like UFC, where there's an organization behind it. It's more so relegated to the fighters in their gyms.
Sometimes.
And they try to find a meeting.
Now, if you got a champion and you want to pit him against, let's say, Strauss or Win, then you can do that and put that card where the champion can have the draw, or at the Hard Rock. They do just they move around.
So they
places.
have like a neutral site.
Yeah, but when they do little low, like, I don't want to say smaller, but like not as, not with big names on it.
Yeah.
Then
low profile.
Yeah, then the guys like Bostwick and Doolittle will be the co-main events. and that will be the main event, even though it's not a championship fight.
Okay, so have you heard this Doolittle guy?
I've never really heard much about him. I know they call him the Honey Badger, and he's 3-1. But I know Bostic's tough. So
named the Honey Badger, and he got a little ponytail on the end of his beard. It's too much. He 3-1 though. He ended up banging.
Yeah. So
too much.
Listen, you laughing at his nickname and you looking at his appearance, but his performance is what matters. So.
Yeah, see, I guess that is what matters, because I won't get in there and do that. He's a little bit bigger than Boswick, but
I think he's taller.
Only thing I don't like is how they don't give next gen stats on their reach and height and stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
you know what I'm saying? It's more than just weight. If it's more akin to boxing, if MMA's gonna give you those measurements, you gotta, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
put that in there. Let people know.
I think as they'll have all that stuff up there, but you gotta forget, you can't forget BKFC is still relatively a new sport. Yes, they was doing it in the 1800s or whatever, but there was nothing like
right.
Nothing like the athletes of today. Yeah,
rules. Right.
So,
and on to the Steve Townsville fight versus Sorrow. I don't know his nickname, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah. The only thing that matters is Steve get that win. Hopefully he will. And, you know, it's funny.
He's going against a bigger guy too.
Yeah, I don't. This guy's a little bit big. What the thing about Sorrow is he's a Golden Gloves boxer. He's a Golden Glove boxer, so that could be. The fight can go either way. If Sorrow can keep him on the outside in boxing, I mean, he could get that win. I think for Steve to win, he'd have to make it dirty. He'd have to clinch, do some dirty boxing, and really put him in uncomfortable positions.
Well, Sorrow you gotta watch out for the one punch knockout power too.
Oh yeah, if the tomahawk can catch him with a clean shot, he can definitely put him down.
So you saying? But one thing that's too worse now when you carry more muscle is the endurance. And you know we've seen Steve fight against bigger guys, and when they get tired, he wasn't tired.
Yeah, I mean sometimes though when you're losing so much weight, when you're a bigger guy and you're losing so much weight, it can take a lot out you. Yeah, you feel good at first, but then you get that energy dump or that adrenaline dump, and it can take a lot out you.
So what you think like Sorrow would like walk around like normally at, like based on his body type?
I would say probably about 225, 230. He might.
If he cut down to 219.
Yeah, because I want to say this. I think this fight right here is going to be in the cruiserweight division. I'm not sure, but I think it's going to be in the cruiserweight division.
Yeah, because they got to be 220 and up, 225 and up to do heavyweight, right?
Yeah.
Or is it 215?
No, I think it's 225.
Oh, all right.
So I think this right here will be in the cruiserweight division, and I don't know, man. It's hard to say because you got to think. I mean, both of these guys are tall. Look at Lorenzo Hunt. He's a short guy. He fight in the cruiserweight division sometimes.
Right.
So it's hard to say. I just think for Steve to beat this guy, I think he'll have to make it dirty. You have to get in there, clinch with the boxing, or a la Randy Couture, get some dirty boxing going, clinch him, get him in uncomfortable spots, and just wear him down.
All right. So we put this to you, gang. BKFC 38. Who do you guys think will win? Don't forget to shoot us a comment below. Remember, this podcast is sponsored by Vandal Athletic Gear. Vandal Bros out.